I really want to see companies that will realize the adoption and the importance of removing friction. We're not selling a product, we're selling a behavior.
Correct.
And I want to see a company that has the courage to say, let's be ready for the future, because the future belongs to who dream big and invite more people to be part of it. You are dreaming big, the company is dreaming big, you are inviting more people to be part of that dream, and let's see the courage of adoption, because that friction is what will make a company great or will make a company a Kodak example.
Indeed. Can't agree more. Hi, Mohammed.
Hi, Vitor.
Welcome to your fitting room.
Thank you so much. And let's make the best use out of this podcast.
Absolutely. Can you introduce a bit yourself? Who is Mohammed Al Hashimi? Because many people knows you, but I think some of our audience is not very aware, and it will be great to know about your fantastic career.
I have been in the business field for the past 20 years or more. I went from different industries between healthcare, retail, lifestyle, entertainment, cooperatives. So basically, this is one component. The second component is the mentorship with Endeavor. And I have been a mentor with Endeavor since 2019 and a few other things as well.
Fantastic. Look, thank you for making time for us today.
With pleasure.
Let's have a nice conversation about business, about actuality. Which is your perspective regarding transformation? Because I know you are a transformative leader. I had the honor of serving one group at the same time of you, and I remember all the great work you did. But I heard as well from what we have been doing in Union Co-op and in other jobs. That means, tell us a bit, what means transformation for you?
Transformation. A wise man once said, the illiterate of the 21st century is not the person who cannot write or read. The illiterate of the 21st century is the person who cannot learn, unlearn, relearn. We live in a world today where so many changes are happening at the same time. Let's talk about AI. AI 6 months ago was a tool. People had to learn. Today, there is a new AI tool that is available in the market. You have two options of people. One option is someone who would say, I already learned. Why should I unlearn and relearn? But what great leaders do is actually unlearn what they have learned 6 months ago, relearn what is available today, and 6 months down the line, they will unlearn what they learned today and relearn what is available in the future.
You have been through the transformation process. Can you give us an example, one of the process that pleased you and gave you some, good memories or good examples of leadership?
So let me explain transformation, but not in a corporate language. And this is an example that happened just half an hour ago. While coming to this place, you were texting me about the location.
Correct.
So you have a phone. So do I. I do have a phone. But what a phone is about? A phone is about so many features, but the most important feature is the digits in the phone. I assume your number will start with 050.
056.
056. But then there are 7 digits.
Correct.
Now, if I dial any 7 digits, will I get hold of you?
Got it.
I will not. But if I dial the right sequence of the 7 digits, I will get the hold of Vitor.
Correct.
In any transformation, it's all about the right sequence, the numbers, and getting hold of the last result, which is basically getting hold of Vitor if I write and dial the right sequence of the 7 digits numbers.
Good point. Look, when we talk about transformation, we talk also about successful cases And we talk about failures as well. We know some that happen in the market and globally. Which are, in your opinion, the key execution gaps that you can find during the execution of a transformation process?
I wouldn't say failures, I would say learnings. I came to a realization that expectations moves faster than what we expect. Dubai, as an example today, people in Dubai, some of them, they wake up on Monday, they fly to Tokyo, they come back to Dubai, next week they fly to London, they come back to Dubai. So what they have experienced in Tokyo and what they have experienced in London is what they're expecting to happen in Dubai. Another good example today, Amazon introduced their 2 hours delivery. 6 months ago, I was okay to expect the same day delivery. Today, I'm expecting a 2 hours delivery. So when we talk about the execution and the market, it's what people are expecting and how companies can adapt to what people are expecting. It's not about the product itself. Product is important, but the actual product is the expectations, the time, how much time are they expecting.
Thank you. Dubai, UAE is known globally now for being a quite sophisticated market, in retail, in everything that we do. Thanks to our leadership, we follow the example and they look for excellence. We all cascade this in our companies, in our teams, in our day by day, looking for excellence as well. How do you define, this excellence in retail? What is for you a good example of excellence that can be seen in retail?
Let me give you 3 examples. 30 years ago, you would see people walking toward the wall to pick up the phone. If you remember the old phones on the walls.
Absolutely.
10 years ago, people started debating, should we still have a phone with buttons or should we have a phone with just a screen? Excellence is not about just a product. It's a byproduct. Excellence is about exceeding what people are expecting, reinventing, and knowing what people will expect. Because after all, even though we run businesses, but after 5 p.m., we're customers of other businesses. And I'm sure as well, in your household, you have your own expectations.
Absolutely.
And if that expectation is not met, you lose.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. Look, shifting to something else on tech. You are the chairman of Atelier Digital AI. What you see in terms of market, AI adoption, AI shift, what you see in terms of AI demand, which is your take on this? That means how AI is driving the change in our country, in our companies, in our day-by-day life. Coming example from the perspective of Atelier Digital AI.
I'm going to give you an answer, but in 2 different scenarios. Scenario 1, and it's not far away. I would say 8-10 years ago. If you and I had to go to Dubai Mall and I wanted to buy a t-shirt, I will end up going with you to Dubai Mall in different shops, wearing t-shirts, so going to the fitting room, removing my clothes, wearing the t-shirt, coming out, telling me if it's fit, if it's not fit, going back again, coming back out, telling me this pink looks like a tuna on you.
I hate that.
I do hate it as well. But this is reality.
Yeah, indeed.
But you said something very important. You hate that. And this is the second component of my answer. AI can make me, when I go to Dubai Mall, even alone or with you, swipe in my preferred shop and say, oh, this pink looks like a tuna on me. I don't like it. This red looks fit on me. But what does that mean in simple language? It means it removes the friction between the retailer and the customer. If you notice today, if you and I again had to go to Dubai Mall or any store in any mall, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you will see people going to the shop by themselves. Today, they're going to the shop with their phones.
Correct.
The question is, how can we make the phone remove the friction?
I fully agree with your perspective. And, I think this is the disruption that we are witnessing today. Also, for my experience, I see that what Atelier Digital AI is offering in the market today is quite disruptive, and is changing completely the future of the digital setup for retailers. But we see sometimes resistance from retailers to understand the new technology and to adopt this technology. What do you think that could be the right approach for these retailers? Because one thing is someone that just don't engage and waits till will be dated and the clientele will look for someone else, or they start engaging little by little, learning and improving what they are offering, and then coming in the right wave with the right clientele, with the right outcomes in terms of business. How do you see this process, this transformation, this impact?
A friend of mine a few days ago texted me that he's going to Lisbon. And I texted you and I told you, give me the one restaurant that you and I went to, because it was a really, really beautiful restaurant. Now, assuming we went to that restaurant and we spoke with the chef, and the chef gave us the ingredients and the recipe. We took the ingredients and the recipe and we put it in the kitchen with no cook, with no chef. 3 hours later, will I have a meal?
You can have, but probably not in your taste and your favorite
No,
taste.
I will not have, because the chef is not there.
You're correct. No, if you cook, I was saying in the sense, if you cook, if you don't have the chef, exactly.
I don't have the chef.
Absolutely.
And why did I say a chef, not me? Because the chef is the expert in the field.
Correct. Absolutely.
In many organizations, boards approve AI. But the question is, in the boardroom, what AI can do? And that is an open-ended question with so many answers. The right question is, what can AI help me solve? AI will help me solve friction. AI will help me solve the friction between the customer and the expectation as well. When people are waiting for the right moment, there is no right moment. What is the purpose of creating a business? The purpose of creating a business is to create a customer and retain a customer.
Great moments, like late founder of Majid Al Futtaim, Mr. Majid said.
Yes. Great moments for everyone, every day.
Absolutely.
But any business, if you create a business, is to have a customer and to retain the customer.
Absolutely.
But the question is how to retain a customer today. The customer today is not looking only for a product. The customer today is looking for time, less friction, and the span of attention has gone down.
An experience.
And if people are not realizing this, it's a problem.
Yeah.
A good example. Do you know a company called Kodak?
Fantastic.
Fantastic company. It used to be the example of so many things. Where is it today?
Yeah. Similar to Nokia. Yeah.
Where is it today?
Absolutely.
They had the recipe, they had the ingredients, but they haven't had the chef, and Kodak is Kodak.
Indeed. Fantastic brand, by the way. Look, from my conversations with the Atelier Digital team, I see that the technology they are offering in the market globally is quite impressive in terms of results. And sometimes I believe some brands, some people do not understand that, or do not understand the impact. When I see that they can fix returns in more than 50% along 1 year, when I see that they can create early engagement for Gen A, Gen Z, etc., and increase this engagement for more than 20%, when I see they can convert more than 50% more than before, I see their impact, example, on cart abandonment that I see from many statistics. I see from examples that with companies that we work with where cart abandonment is 60, 70, 80% is quite a big number. That means I see all these impacts, but even though sometimes I feel people is afraid of adopting AI. why should be that? You think this is resistance to surf the new wave and the new opportunities, or just because the people is not real aware about what is in reality AI? Because many people talks about AI, but to be honest, very few people knows exactly what is AI, because AI is not ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. It's much more than that, and is already transforming for agentic AI, and we see already we had access already to some platforms, to some solutions where we see the future coming, and is even more advanced than this step. Where do you think that we sit today with the retailers?
It's called the fitting room. And it reminded me of my wife because while leaving the house today, I saw 3 big bags from 2 different major online retailers. And when I called my wife, what did you buy? She said, no, don't worry. I bought so many things. I'm going to just size them on my kids, and I'm going to return the rest. What companies doesn't understand is, yes, people will order. My wife will open the bag. She will try the fit on my kids. Whatever fits. Whatever doesn't fit will go back to the bag. Call the company again, and the company will come and pick it up. They will repack it and resell it again, and the same thing happened.
Yeah.
So the question is, how can companies understand the value of not returning? How can companies understand the value of upselling? How can the companies understand the value of that AI is not here as a luxury? AI is here to remove friction. Now, if I had to go back to my wife, will my house be a fitting room? Yeah. It might be a fitting room, but with much less SKUs.
Products. Absolutely. But that is a clear trend. We witness that everywhere, and in different segments of fashion, we see that happening even more. When you go luxury, there are many examples of people that buys online 6, 8, even 10 different SKUs to try at home, and then sending back almost everyone.
You reminded me of an article I read a few days back. I'm not sure which company is it, Farfetch or one of the companies. They started banning customers who have 80% or more returns.
Correct.
Here is the friction.
Correct.
Here is the friction.
Absolutely. And is impacting, because each return can cost them, I don't know, 14, 16 dirhams at least, will impact with all this transportation, all the KPIs on sustainability as well,
yes.
and is quite big, and also will impact the satisfaction of the people, because the people would prefer to get 1 or 2, just whatever reason, instead of trying many because they are not right about the size or about exactly the colors they want, etc., etc. And is where I think that indeed Atelier Digital is fixing this very in advance.
It's fixing the friction.
Yeah.
And people need to realize that we are fixing the friction.
Yeah. You think this kind of solutions, this kind of softwares will be helping many of these retailers to transform themselves? Because we see today in the region, for reasons that we are aware, every retailer is under stress. Okay? When retailers are under stress, there is a big demand internally from shareholders to be more efficient, to capitalize more on sales, to create or to focus more on their loyalty programs, etc., etc., etc. Where do you think this will end? Because if they don't adopt early, if they don't understand their needs in terms of the impact that is happening, where do you think that, in this case, Atelier Digital can act as an agent, giving them much more than they expect. Because I remember from numbers I saw from the Atelier Digital sales team that with all the impacts of their platform, of their service, they can impact P&L, bottom line, more than 20%. And it's huge. When you go on all the returns, more sales, less carts abandonment, etc., 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 that is 20% in a P&L in 1 year. It's quite big, right? Even 10% is big. You know, anything that goes over 3, 4, 5% growth, it's a big impact in any P&L. What do you think that should be done?
It's not, the question is not if, the question is when. And the more we have Kodaks, the same example as Kodak, but the more we have Kodaks happening soon, they will all act fast. The question is who will act first and be on top of the game. With such pressure from shareholders, with such pressure on sales, we need to fix two things: friction and time. And if those two are not solved, companies will not be.
Absolutely. But you know, example, we see big engagement of global groups like Inditex, like LVMH, like Kering, etc. We see locally small companies, fashion, beautiful companies like Sarah Malik, Sarah M, or like Lily Blanc, etc., etc. You know, Dubai-based companies. You know, adopting these new technologies and being curious about that. But then we don't see much many of the leading retailers in the region. You know, being more curious about, or curious I see they have been, but they miss, many of them, they miss the next steps. You know, how do you think that we can incentivize them to go further, to disrupt, to adopt, to move?
If you have a headache, what will be the default answer if you go to a pharmacy?
Yeah, take an aspirin or whatever.
Panadol. So the question is, how can we make the product of Atelier Digital the Panadol of the headache? We need to go to the one problem every company you mentioned, which is friction. And that friction then translates into numbers. Numbers, bottom line, top line, are byproduct. But friction is the headache. And the Panadol is Atelier Digital product.
Okay.
It's not only about promoting Atelier Digital, because you have other as well AI programs.
Absolutely.
When it comes to pricing, when it comes to personalization, hyper-personalization. They are all Panadols for different type of headaches.
Absolutely.
Whoever adapts today will be up to speed in the future. Whoever is waiting for the right moment, there is no right moment in a business. Who expected this situation to happen today?
Absolutely.
Who expected COVID to hit?
I think no one.
No one.
At least I won't. I was not one of those. Yeah.
But the question is, people made from a crisis situation an opportunity. Today,
Correct.
like at 9 p.m., if I want to have food, at least in 2019, I used to wear my clothes, go to the restaurant, order a pickup, take the bag, go back home, change my clothes, and eat my food. What did I miss? I missed one thing. I missed the vibe. I spent like 1 hour going, coming, changing, and everything. Today, I just order while I'm watching the movie. The food comes. It's only 2 minutes to get it from the door to my table.
Absolutely. Convenience.
But this is my expectation. This is my expectation, and it became a behavior. Today, we're in 2026, 6 years after COVID. This is the expectation. I will never change my clothes to buy food and come back home. I'm going to use an aggregator.
Absolutely.
But who's winning today? People who adapted, companies that adapted. If they don't see this, we go back to the same recipe in the kitchen without a cook and a chef. Sitting there, waiting for the right moment, the right chef.
Indeed. Look, great analogy. Nice conversation, but to close, I'd like to hear some remarks from you about this new era, where everything is challenged, everything is new, everything comes quite disruptive and aggressive in terms of the way that is transacting, the way that is deploying in each market. How do you see that will be the future? How do you see that will be the next steps for fashion tech, AI solutions, and the future for the retail? How do you see that will happen?
In Union Co-op, we used to have the traditional checkout with the cashiers. We then introduced, even though we did it late, but we introduced the self-checkout. Today you can scan and go using your phone without even queuing in the self-checkout or anywhere else in the store. Now this became an expectation. The adoption of this solution is 2% of our sales from a transaction perspective. Adapting first. When it comes to luxury retail, friction will always happen. Companies need to understand that. Customers, when they come to a fashion store, they don't come alone. They come along with their phones.
Absolutely.
They know what they're buying, they know the prices, and they are comparing prices as well. 3, visualization, which is the most important component. Will I look like a tuna wearing a pink t-shirt or not? I made it a very simple analogy with a tuna and a pink. But it's how we talk to ourselves. Do I look good? No. Do I look good? Yes. I'm going to buy it.
Very good point. Final words for our audience regarding Atelier Digital.
My final word would be, always remember that expectations move faster than the systems. Who will win are the people and the companies that will adapt. When I talk about people, I'm talking about people, not people within organizations. If you don't update yourself, if you don't unlearn what you learned yesterday and learn what is relevant today, you will be outdated. Companies as well have the same thing. If they don't unlearn and relearn, they will be a Kodak sooner or later.
Thank you. Wise words. Thank you very much, Mohammed. It was a great pleasure having you today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making time, and thank you for all this thoughtful conversation.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Pleasure
Thank
is
you.
mine.
Well, thank you, everyone. Please don't forget to follow us. We are at LinkedIn, we are at Instagram, we have our YouTube channel, and we are also at TikTok. Please follow us, share, and please make sure you help us to create a fantastic community where we can share all the insights about fashion, about technology, and about impact. Counting on you. Thank you very much.